It's just so hard to not feel really bitter about the TikTok ban because our quality of life in the United States is already not fantastic. Like, if you're working a full-time, even a part-time job, I work in a call center, so I'm just miserable all the time because talking to people one call after another is miserable, especially if you're introverted like me. I'm charming, but I'm introverted, and I just want to make art or not get yelled at all the time and survive, but my quality of life is zero. So even if I look at all these manifesting videos, manifesting a better job or a better life or just being more productive and financially stable is the way that I spend money, is the way that I live my life really rich. If I was just left alone for a year, would I be better functioning than I am now at a job that I hate, even if it's work at home, even if it's flexible to a point? And I recently got a talking to from my boss. They call it a coaching, because I missed a few days due to sickness because I get bad migraines, and you're only allowed to have attendance less than 90%, which is like half a day a week. Only like once every 6 week ruling period, which is kind of insane. Like, you can take days off, but if it's an emergency, if you have chronic migraines or just chronic depression like me, like the last few days, I've just had the worst fatigue ever. Like, I just cannot get out of bed. And you feel guilty for it because it's like, I know I absolutely cannot go to work today. Like, there's no way I can talk on the phone for 8 hours without losing it. But that's what I mean. Quality of life, if you're doing a job, that's why it feels like such a big betrayal when we're all going over to Red Note and we're seeing, even if they may have longer hours sometimes in China, even if they don't have 100% everything, their situation is a lot better in a lot of ways than ours. Like, they're not paying medical bills, they're not worried about that. If I have a mental breakdown and I have to go to a mental hospital, then I have like 50% co-insurance. So I'd pay 50% of that. They don't have to worry about that when having a breakdown. They don't. I'm sure there's high standards for work there as well. But I'm just so tired of being a somewhat disabled person and having to live up to these high standards when I'm barely functioning, when I barely get dressed every morning, if that, when I just struggle so much. So I don't feel very rich, even if my income is fine.